This is a special report from ABC News Digital.
I'm Dan Kleffler in New York with this ABC News Digital special report, a mission to Mars that could tell us about the future of the Earth. Now, right now, you're looking at a live picture of Cape Canaveral, Florida. That is where NASA is set to launch a rocket to the Red Planet. There, the Mars atmosphere and the Volatile Evolution Probe, also known as MAVEN, will hover in orbit trying to figure out more clues on or about its long-lost atmosphere and the potential, in fact, to support life. Let's listen in now as the countdown
10,
is
9,
getting set
8,
from 10.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine start, ignition, and liftoff of the Atlas V with MAVEN, looking for clues about the evolution of Mars through its atmosphere.
Control. Mark. Everything looking good. Still at 100% rated thrust on the RD-180. Vehicle rates are looking good. We do have roll program in, right as expected. We are actively controlling the mixture ratio. Valve position looks good. Thrust regulator valve position looks good. Speeds are good. And vehicle's operating as expected. Continue down the center of the range track. Everything is looking good. We're now 1.6 nautical miles of altitude, 0.1 miles downrange, traveling at a little over 1,000 miles per hour. And we have ended our roll programs. Everything is looking good, continuing at 100% thrust. We are now passing through the sound barrier. MAVEN is now supersonic. RD-180 continues to operate at 100% rated thrust. We are about to pass through max Q. And vehicles passing through max Q. Rates look good. Engine continues to operate at 100%. And we have throttled down to 95% thrust, right on time. We're now 10 nautical miles in altitude, 7.4 miles downrange, traveling at 2,200 miles per hour. And everything is looking good. Continue to operate at 95% thrust. Coming up on our next mark event, I expect to enable Q alpha steering. And steering's enabled. Body rates look as expected for bringing and steering. Vehicle is now 50% of its liftoff weight. And we're about to fire the pyro valves to activate the second stage reaction control system. Pyro valves have fired. System has pressurized. And the RD-180 continues to operate as expected at 100% rated thrust, or 95% rated thrust, correction. Rates are looking good. Continue to accelerate, passing through 3 Gs. PU control looks good. And continue to fly right down the center of the range track. We are now 35 miles in altitude, 70 miles downrange at 6,000 miles per hour. Reaction control system is now fully pressurized.
And so now MAVEN is headed to Mars. Essentially, scientists know that Mars, at one point, had an Earth-like atmosphere nearly 4 billion years ago, full of water, wet clouds. Somehow, though, something had changed, and Mars became the cold, dry, red planet that we see today. So NASA, wanting to figure out that driver behind the change, now looking for clues that might indicate if Earth would face a similar fate. The aircraft, it's attached to an Alliance Atlas V rocket filled to the brim with liquid oxygen. The takeoff going without any kind of technical problems, as you can see right there. The MAVEN probe breaking through the Earth's atmosphere. That journey to its final destination is going to take some time, though. It will be a 10-month mission, in fact, for that NASA spacecraft, slated to get to Mars by next September. And shortly thereafter, the testing will begin. Scientists think that if, in fact, they find out how the atmosphere disappeared, they could figure out if there was any possible life, maybe where, in fact, some life might exist today. This, to put it into perspective, NASA's 21st foray to Earth's most habitable sister planet, the $671 million mission coming a year after the launch of the Curiosity Mars rover, still rolling along on the Martian surface. And the MAVEN mission could also be helping some scientists plan for the first manned mission to Mars by the year 2030. Ambitious indeed, but a first step, as MAVEN is now on its way to Mars. We have a complete report right here on abcnews.com. For now, I'm Dan Kleffler in New York with this ABC News Digital Live event.